What's happening? So fam, it's Tarot Tuesday. You already know what time it is. So we're going to do two different tarots. We're going to do a speed tarot really quick, just in case you don't have time to watch the whole entire thing. And either way, if you end up watching the speed tarot and then jumping into the major cosmology that we're going to be reading, they're still going to click in. So don't feel like just because you pull out a speed tarot that it's, you're going to not need to watch any of this information, because this still will help you on this angle over here. So while I keep talking, pick rather A, B, or C, and that's going to be your starting point on this race into the tarot cosmos. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, give me a little bit of a like on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. That allows us to create more content like this and much more. If you want to learn tarot and you're learning it already, but you want to learn like a boss, check out the links in the description below. You're going to be able to check out my Quantum Tarot course, which will turn you from beginner to pro. And even if you're a pro, it'll take you to the next level anyway. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start off with A. So this portion right here is going to be all the subconscious on each one. And then this portion over here is going to be the conscious version of every reading. So we're going to start off with the Ganesha Tarot. If you picked deck A, it's telling you to focus on the materialization of your intuition and live in splendor. So what does that mean? Splendor can be like, okay, I'm gonna choose to be happy today. Things are happening that might be testing my patience, but I'm not going to give in to any of that. Also allowing yourself to say, hey, I want to go have breakfast at this one place because I really like having breakfast there, and just doing it. Like, I've definitely been doing that the last couple of days myself. This is one place I really like, and we've been going there very often just because it just gets my day started. So live in a materialization of your splendor, okay? Consciously. Know that whatever it is that you've been trying to go after is already accomplished. You have gotten it. It's coming your way. You're taking that back home so you can enjoy that splendor. But you need to also understand that you shouldn't be hasteful or have a lot of like aggressive energy during this time as you enjoy your splendor, because that can take away from your gravitational pull. But this moment for you is at least to relax, okay? So consciously, if you picked out deck A, this is a great moment for you. Whatever it is that you went after, it's already yours. Relax with it. Don't be too aggressive trying to protect it or hoard it or anything like that, because that can slow you down. That's consciously. Subconsciously, embrace the splendor, because you manifested it. 11 here, right? So good vibes. Again, the Ace of Wands, you manifested it. You're in the highest peak of your own magic. Keep that vibration going, and know that you are transcending different variations of time and the values of your mind and your emotions. So this card is basically telling you, you're starting to see how you really feel about the world, about other people, about yourself. And as you've been manifesting this particular situation for yourself, you've been really able to see who you are in the greater scope of the cosmos, where you're trying to get to, and what's necessary for you to do that. Even though right now you've been able to see all those details, it's not really a moment for action. It's more so a moment for stepping into embodiment. This is a lot of like in Antojai, the third chakra. Okay, so the third eye chakra in Antojai. And this basically means I become. This vibration right here is I become. So how are you embodying whatever it is that you manifested at every level and enjoying it? Because a lot of times we want to become something and we don't allow ourselves to enjoy it when we actually get there. So don't fall into that trap. All right, so we're going into section B here. If you picked B, this is for you. Starting off with Ganesha, this is a conscious thing for you to learn how to surrender into positivity, because 2 has to do with positivity. So if you picked B, learn how to surrender into the great work that is happening in front of you. The 7 of Wands is reminding you, like, you're in the middle of getting something done, okay? And you got to keep moving forward. Sometimes we feel like we have to take action all the time to get things done, but we also have to learn that it's a little bit of give and take, right? We make things happen and then we wait for the results. Then we make things happen and we wait for the result. So it's kind of like this ability to surrender into the cosmos, let the cosmos work with you to get you to the next level. Because right now you're going through a major lesson of learning who you truly are at a manifestation level. This is a really good card, the Page of Pentacles, telling you how to manifest more abundance. The only way you're going to manifest more abundance in your life is, again, surrendering into the ebb and flow of your own creation. So just know that, like, this may be a little bit of a struggle for you at first to learn how to contemplate and work with, but it's definitely nothing out of the league for you to accomplish. Now, subconsciously for you, you're looking for a little bit of guidance. So right now, meditating a lot with the energies of Shiva, the energies of Vishnu as well, particularly, are going to be a lot of help for you right now, because the guidance that you're looking for is more so of self-fulfillment and how to clear yourself into surrendering. So like, don't look for guidance in terms of like, what should I do next? More so look for guidance in the terms of like, how do I surrender more into just letting life exist and becoming more so my manifestation. This one too has to do with the vibration of the 6th chakra in Antojai, but it's more so accepting. So becoming, accepting. Okay, so you need to accept to become in this particular area as well. Just know that with that change, there's always going to be this need to get things done subconsciously, that you have to keep moving, you have to keep moving, you have to keep moving. But if you don't allow yourself to kind of just see how things play out and analyze everything before you take concrete action, that could get you involved in some things that you don't want to be involved in. So kind of take this time again to not necessarily completely enjoy yourself, but to be shown what to do next, where to go next, how to operate next, okay? Give yourself the opportunity to work with the yin and the yang. People on this top deck right here are stepping out of the yang into the yin, okay? This is deck C, so if you ended up picking up deck C, this message is for you. If you picked deck C, you have achieved something or you're very close to achieving it. Keep your mental ability focused on the positive things intuitively and you'll get what you're looking for. The 4 of Wands says that it's almost here. You have everything that you're looking for. You might be already experiencing like this cosmic justice that makes you feel really, really happy, and it's kind of just making you feel like you want to spend time by yourself, not really spend time with other people. Which, hey, if that was one of your goals, you want to just have more harmony in your life, you definitely have it in your presence right now. So just roll with it, enjoy it, know that you don't have to give your time to anybody. Know that if you don't feel like doing something, just don't do it, because the cosmos is actually rooting for you to kind of just like step into that power. That's a really beautiful energy here at level C. But that kind of energy does require a subconscious concentration to evolve, because sometimes when we're stepping into this vibration of like, oh, I have what I'm looking for, it's very easy for you to start thinking about like, oh, but what if something goes off and like ends up, you know, fucking everything up for me, right? That's where that concentration internally comes in, of saying like, okay, no, this has happened for a reason. This happened for me. Like, it's going to continue to happen because I'm constantly staying happy. I'm constantly staying focused on the next step that I'm being guided to from the cosmos. And do not allow yourself to give into fear, because giving into fear is going to bring a lot of kinks into the rest of your reality. Now, right now, this moment for you is, again, to step into a luxury and to step into this higher vibration of enjoying yourself overall. So very much so in alignment here. Enjoy the luxury, because this time of kind of like sleep is going to last for a while, but it's not going to last forever. And then Shu and Tefnut, the vibration that you're supposed to be really stepping into is love. Now, Shu is the energy of the air or thought, and Tefnut is the energy of water or the third eye, the intuition. These are basically the thoughts and the waters of life themselves. So they really loved each other. They come from the primordial essence of creation itself, or Atum. This moment right now is to love. Focus your concentration on being positive, loving your life. We have a 4 here. We have a 2 here, we have a 42 here, we have a 9 here, we have a 9 here. The numbers are very consistent. Listen to your intuition, stay positive, and keep evolving. That's your main goal right here if you picked level C. All right, so level C is more so I progress, I transcend. That's the solar plexus mantra, but it's also I become. So everyone here is really vibing I become. This vibration, A, is only I become. This vibration is I become, I accept. And C is I become, I progress, I transcend. Okay, so these are the quick notes. So let's look into what the cosmos has in store for us. Okay, so we're going to start off with Jupiter, because Jupiter is really like one of the main energies right now. It's really strong, as well with Mars, because we're in Aries season and Mars controls Aries. So in terms of Jupiter, which has to do with foundation, like financial abundance and success and growth in terms of like business affairs and stuff like that, we have the Antojai card. And this is the Spirit Antojai card, which is basically telling you you're living at a very spiritual vibration, and the spiritual vibrations from the cosmos are very much so in alignment. And what's really funny is that as I lift this up, we have the materialized version of Antojai. So with these two cards, it's saying like the spiritual world, the cravings of life, the cravings of victory are materializing themselves and trying to integrate themselves with you in the physical universe. This is really amazing energy that we need to keep like the vibration of lucidity with. Okay, so take action, because you are in a psychic evolution. Okay, so really good vibes right here so far, like lots of blessings. Now, just because these cards are popping out, if you're not doing your action, don't, you know, and you're not seeing the kind of changes that these cards are talking about, ask yourself where you can make some improvement. Now, this is from my new deck, my Sailor Moon deck that I got earlier today. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles comes up basically telling you again on this same Jupiter line, there's a lot of abundance, a lot of positivity, a lot of relaxation here for everyone. It's a time to embrace yourself, love yourself, be vibing with that vibration of, you know, just embracing abundance in every aspect. It doesn't really matter if it comes in the form of money or if it comes in the form of like spending quality time with people you care about. That's what this is all about. Now, we're going to go to Mars, because Mars is controlling Aries season. Mars is the most powerful planet right now during this time. So we have the card of prosperity that comes out instantaneously. Okay, so 36 is telling you to stay focused on creating the material universe that you choose by focusing on positivity, focusing on prosperity itself. Keep your eye on whatever it is that you want, and it's going to continue to create itself for you. Manifestation and alchemy right now is probably the easiest thing to do. The Merkaba comes up with 32. Create from a positive space. Okay, so the Merkaba has to do with like manifestation and rewriting reality, the light spectrum of reality. And then we finally have alchemy with the number 8. When Mars comes up with these 3 cards, is legit telling us that we are manifesting the highest results possible for our reality. So focus on taking action. Don't take anything less than what you feel like you deserve. You might be feeling like you're a little bit more irritated, you're a little bit more angry, a little bit more confrontational. That just comes with the energy of Aries. So just make sure that you pay attention to like how you curve yourself, how you interact with people. Don't just act out of impulse. The next card that comes out is the Page of Pentacles. So here again, we have a second vibration here of the Page of Pentacles. If you ended up picking vibration B, then here is another like kind of like recall of that energy that's stepping into your reality. You're learning a lot more about how to manifest cleanly. And that's especially for everyone. Everyone now is learning how to control their thoughts, focus on the things that they want, have concentration, and allow the universe to create something around that. A lot of you are starting to step into what your soul purpose really means right now to you, and how to pursue that, and how to let go of things that are not letting you get further and further into that direction. If that's the case, follow whatever prompts are coming to you. Should you not be hanging out with this person? Do you try to hang out with someone and then it just never really pans out for you? That's all stuff that you need to pay attention to. Now, we have the Lightning card. The Lightning card is telling you lots of luck is coming because of all this travel movement energy from Mars. So like if you've been doing the Star of Lakshmi soul purpose exercises I've been showing you on Patreon, this vibration right here of Mars is closely tied to your knowledge center. Oh, sorry, no, your travel center on the cards. So on your channel, on your travel section, if your word is freedom, for instance, focus more so on bringing luck into this energy. Freedom, 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 because that's how you hack reality. the cosmos is as above, so below. So whatever's happening here, we can take action below in the earthly realms to take advantage of it. Since this right here has to do with so much luck and transformation and materializing your own universe, the Star of Lakshmi has to do with materializing your soul purpose. And there's a corner that has to do with travel, which is the Mars corner, right? So whatever that word is to you, that's where you want to be directing a lot of your vibration. And you just follow it. You know, like for me, it's freedom. I just constantly am looking for freedom. What's the next thing? Oh, I'm being told I should purchase this one thing because it's going to get me closer to freedom. Perfect. Oh, I should do this one meditation where I feel free already from whatever it is that's holding me back. Okay, great, amazing. You know, it's all this constant flux and recycling of the same concept over and over and over again with this Mars energy. Especially because since Mars is tied to not only travel but war, this can really cut things from your travel section into your victory section. So on the Star of Lakshmi, you might have noticed that, okay, on the travel section, it might mean freedom to you, and the victory section, it might mean purity. So your freedom will lead you to purity based off of the vibrations of war and victory that we're experiencing right now. And this is a great moment for you to kind of use that luck to repair anything that's been off balance in your life, whether it's friendships, patterns, diets, you know, the weather is getting pretty good, so you should be able to go back outside and do stuff like that. But this is the time to make sure that if there's any loose ends, you can change that immediately. We have the next card, Autumn Ra, which is basically literally the creation of Shu and Tefnut in the other cards that we were reading recently. But this vibration right here has to do with creating, completing, and perfecting something that's been on your mind for a while. So this Autumn Ra energy is very powerful. It's solar, spiritual energy. It is the energy of what is it that your spirit wants, not your soul wants. What is going to get you closer to your spirit? A lot of times we think that spirit and soul are two similar things. They're the same concept, basically, with different names. But really, at the end of the day, spirit is above soul. Soul is a collection of experiences that you have. That's where all your incarnations are. Your soul is only a vibration of the environment. It is not the entirety of your universe. So as you keep using this energy of Mars to work on certain aspects of your soul purpose and your soul wealth, you're going to literally get closer and closer and closer to your spiritual abundance and understanding. So a lot of times people get caught up in I gotta know all my past lifetimes. I gotta know, who I was, why I'm here, what my soul purpose is. Really, you need to tap into your spirit. Once you tap into your spirit, everything else just kind of makes itself very apparent to you, and it's very obvious, okay? So that's a lot of powerful energy here from Mars, telling us a lot of abundance, good energy so far. Now we're gonna go ahead and look at the sun. The sun is coming up with the crown chakra. And it's basically telling us life energy here. The Four of Swords comes in, and it's kind of reminding us, hey, whatever it is that may be making you feel like you're not growing, that is the moment or the idea that needs to be let go of. Sometimes it could be the music you're listening to, the TV shows you're watching. The other day I was watching a TV show, and I was just paying attention to the art that's used in a lot of cartoons that are being drawn right now for comedy purposes. And a lot of the cartoons are perpetually having frowny faces, or they always look angry. So subconsciously you're programming yourself to take anger and the negative vibration at a lighter tone than what it's normally supposed to be. And subconsciously you're accepting kind of that lower density without realizing it because of all this subconscious programming that's happening in your reality. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is telling you right now is a moment to just enjoy the good times, the things that are happening right now. Allow yourself to step into a full realization space. Okay, this is all about realizing yourself, with the number 37 saying that you're creating harmony in your life. Another 7 here, the crown chakra, harmony in your life. It's very interesting because this morning I did a post on Patreon which was talking about the origins of Antojai, how Antojai works. And I specifically said there are 7 doors that open 7 more, and that 7 can be interpreted in a bunch of different ways because of infinity. If you read that post, this is very much in alignment. I did that post early this morning before I even pulled out these cards. And if you haven't checked out that post, go ahead and check it out on Patreon. Okay? So what we're gravitating to ourselves is the release of everything that isn't in alignment with us and the realization of our lives by embracing the good that we're having. Some people will do that through love. Some people will do that with harmony. Some people will do that through just self-empowerment. But these are the major things that we need to be paying attention to. So when we come into Neptune, which is spiritual love, we end up having the card of the Three of Swords. So it's basically telling you, you know, sometimes this kind of like evolution seems like kind of like you're juggling different aspects of yourself, and you're basically trying to become the cleanest version of yourself without cutting yourself while you're juggling all these swords. Sometimes you have to cut yourself to kind of like know how to juggle swords correctly. This is a great vibration of practice makes perfect, okay? And sometimes when you're practicing, you will trip and fall. If you're afraid to trip and fall, you ain't gonna get to the next level of being masterful at your craft, right? So don't be afraid to like get into confrontation if you have to. It's not saying that you're looking for confrontation. It's just saying if you have to, that's okay. Like, just make sure you come from a space of spiritual love where you honor yourself, you honor the other person as well. That's going to be one of the things that's going to make this transition for you easier. In terms of the earth, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is telling you to be generous as you grow, especially if you see other people who are struggling across this path. Let them know like what they can do to help themselves, but don't make it your responsibility to make sure that they enact that. So if I see somebody, you know, who's struggling with abundance, okay, hey, by the way, did you know that if you use this one frequency key, or if you do this one meditation, or you know, do this one mantra, you can actually change your abundance, and leave it at that. You know, if the person doesn't want to go ahead and do it for themselves, that's not your problem. You at least pointed them in the right direction, and that's for them to take care of. That's you sharing your abundance without taking too much responsibility for another's reaction. And this right here, this can be the hardest part between these two cards right here in Neptune and Earth, is that sometimes with that foundation that, you know, we want to help people without cutting ourselves, you know what I mean, while helping other people. It's kind of like this thing of knowing where your boundaries are. And if you're creating your own boundaries, saying like, I will not accept this, or I won't accept that, or I know when I'm feeling low on energy, you can kind of make sure you stay in a healthy zone. With the earth vibration, we have Geb, Nut, and Shu. So Geb is the vibration of earth, is one of the gods of earth. Shu is the god of the air, and Nut is god of the stars, basically. So the earth, the stars, and your thoughts are very much so connected right now, and they're going to be a direct representation of how you behave with your generosity. Now, one of the things that happens is like sometimes when we learn how to ascend, we learn how to do advanced alchemy, we understand the cosmos like more intimately than most people. The people who don't get it, it's very easy to look at that person and be like, oh God, like, why are you so dumb? Or like, why can't you see it? Or almost feeling like you have an air of superiority over another person who has a lower dimensional consciousness, right? That's the major trap that you have to stay away from, because the more generous you are, recognizing that some people just don't know. Some people just don't get it. Some people are going to look for it. They're going to get it, and they're not going to realize that they got it. If you keep hoarding all that magic and that information for yourself, that's going to be something that not only works against you after some time, but will also start working against other people in the collective consciousness. So this is something, a major trap here not to fall into, is just give freely, know where your boundaries are, and then know that as you keep living, like it's almost like the golden rule, treat others the way you would like to be treated. Treat reality the way you would like reality to treat you. There's no difference here. It's a very clean and cut vibration. So here we're going to step into Pluto. Pluto is coming up with the vibration of emergence, 2-5. So you're changing your environment. Be positive, okay, because you're emerging. There's a transition happening. So your intuition is going to guide you to the best creation possible. And again, this card came up last week talking about perception, 35. You're creating the ideal environment. Stay positive because you're creating an environment. You're creating the ideal environment. Your perception is going to emerge what it is that's being transitioned right now, okay? So a lot of very similar numbers that are coming up in Pluto. Pluto has to do with a spiritual death, a death of old realities, and a transformation of self. So then this card right here, when we flip it over, we have the Emperor, which the Emperor came out in one of these sections as well. So if you ended up picking the pile of cards that had the Emperor, and here's the Emperor, you're being mostly ruled by Pluto. Same thing if you ended up picking up the secondary card that was in here, I can't remember, the Page of Pentacles, you're being mostly ruled by Mars. So this is all about, don't be too aggressive with the change that's coming. The change is going to come regardless. Really, the main trick here is to focus on your perception. Pluto's telling you to focus on your perception. Earth is telling you to focus on your perception. Neptune's telling you to clean your perception. And then Mars is telling you to use that perception to guide you forward, all right? While you keep generating more positivity and abundance in your life to fulfill the cravings of your life. This is not about manifesting, okay? I know it sounds like it's very similar to manifesting. You are going to be manifesting as you focus on your thoughts. So like some people are like, oh, they're going to hear me and they're going to say, oh yeah, okay, well, I have to make sure that I'm focusing on manifesting positivity. No, it's about becoming positivity. If you are positivity, positivity has no other choice but to manifest itself. The way you do that is by sitting down in meditation, yes, taking 15, 20, an hour, however many minutes and time you need on a daily consistent basis of saying, I'm positive. I have positive things that happen to me. I'm sitting in positivity. I love all the positivity that's happened in my life, focusing on the greatest positivity that's ever happened to you in the past. It's a constant trait of bringing that into your life. And then when you run into other people saying, okay, here, I'm going to throw you a dash of positivity too, because I have an overabundance of positivity. Why not let it go around, okay? That is going to treat and change reality as you see fit. It's about what vibration you're carrying, not what vibration you're transmitting. Because a lot of times people think, oh, you have to project an energy. You have to harness an energy. Similar to the sun, right? The Autumn Raw card here, the sun. You need to be like a gravitational force to then be able to gravitate things to you, right? So this is going to be probably the hardest thing for a lot of people to allow themselves to go through right now. It doesn't have to be a hailstorm. It doesn't have to be like this struggle that happens to you. If you're willing to say, okay, well, I'm going to focus on this. Now, some people are still learning how to get past manifestation itself, but that should be no excuse. So kind of like sit down in the vibration of what is beyond manifestation. Even just contemplating that and sitting in silence with yourself will produce an answer for you. This is all coming into alignment because it is an Akashic record event. So this is a cosmological event that has to happen. We couldn't avoid it based off of the scheme of everything happening right now. So you can work with it or you can let it drown you. We're going to Mercury. Mercury owns all of 2021. Mercury comes out with the sun. Hey, all about positivity. So when Mercury says focus on the positive or focus on the aspects of the sun, it's taking us right back here, you know, sitting with the positive things, letting go of things that don't serve us, working on the crown chakra, bringing in life energy into our lives to become realized in harmony, okay? This is really, really powerful here. It's all like kind of collapsing upon each other, just so it keeps giving you the same kind of messages. We have a solar spirit here. We have a solar spirit here. We have a super solar message here. It's all interconnected. Now, there's a lot of dynamic energy. So because of that, since there's so much like spiritual, high spirit energy, you need to make sure that you're using your thoughts to the greatest advantage possible. Like you want to start existing in vibration. So sometimes people manifest, oh, I want this one positive event to happen at my job, and then they have to start from square zero again once they get that event, right? Instead of saying like, I perpetually exist in good events. I perpetually exist in luck. I perpetually exist in love, which then just makes your whole entire reality more dynamic over that one concept. Now, just because you pick one concept like love doesn't mean you have to dedicate your whole entire life to it. You can dedicate yourself to it until you decide, oh, okay, I've learned all I need from this, or maybe it's not for me. Let me switch over to another topic. That's kind of like the whole power of being a creator in this moment, to realize your own self-abundance and your own self-power. As you do this, you will be able to shift the energies of Gaia or Mother Earth. You'll even become more connected to Gaia as a whole. This is a collective consciousness shift that's happening right now, so people can start embodying a higher sense of freedom. What's happening right now in the cosmos is about empowerment and freedom and wholeness. At the beginning of 2021, Ganesha was telling us the two things we're going to be focusing on this whole entire year has to do with wholeness, the solar plexus, wholeness, the heart chakra, and empowerment, the solar plexus chakra, okay? Kali came in telling us there was a lot of death energy, which is the 8th chakra. Right now, we're working somewhere between the 10th and the 7th chakras. We're bringing in and grounding life energies while we become whole, we become empowered, and we take action to let go of whatever is necessary as that happens. But you need to have the belief. Here's another 11 that shows up. You need to have the belief that it's going to happen. Belief can only get you so far. You need to believe until you know, right? So a lot of times you believe that you could probably draw like a pro, and you practice and you practice and you practice, and if you truly believe, it'll become into a knowing, and it's second nature, and then you can just draw people with your eyes closed pretty much, right? So you have to allow yourself to step in that vibration of I believe until I start seeing action, evidence. Okay, that becomes a law. That's a knowing. That's part of my reality. That is just a state of existence. That's what is being asked of you right now with this dynamic energy that's coming through Earth. We also just had this asteroid called Apophis, which Apep has been really coming up a lot, and not only tarot, but also in cosmology and different areas as well, even with like my own personal research. And it all has to do with like cataclysmic events that are dying. Sometimes Apep can seem like a nightmare, but Apep can also seem like the changing and the abandonment of one reality for the service of another. There is a little bit of poison in terms of the collective consciousness that's happening right now that people are trying to let go of. People feel like, you know, they're being repressed, rather, with like new laws that are happening in specific countries, or, you know, they feel like they don't know whether or not they should go, you know, to the doctor to get a vaccine. Like right now, there's a lot of chaos in the terms of poison in the cosmos. You need to be your own antidote. You need to take whatever it is that I've given you on Antojai and Quantum Reiki and any of my classes and use that to clarify, purify your energy. That's going to transfer you from one reality into another, especially mentally, and that will be the vaccine to your issue, okay? So you can also even take these cards and, you know, read them however it is that you want to read them, because I'm not going to really say it, but if Mercury is telling you about these two concepts, and, you know, when you go where everyone's worried about the thing that's happening, right? And then people are thinking about, maybe, you know, and these cards are making it pretty clear here. I'm trying to speak between the lines because I don't want to be that person, but that's what the tarots are kind of like bringing out. Like, that's something you can look at on your own if that's something that is there for you to kind of contemplate with. So then we're going to go into the vibration of Saturn. So Saturn has Ganesha, and Ganesha is saying 3, delight, okay? Find the delightment in your life, because 2020 was really rough for a lot of people, especially with all the shadow work that was going on. Let yourself be happy in 2021, especially because the 4 of Cups comes up and is basically telling you that there's something old, there's something that happened already. You know, you had your fill of it. It's no longer entertaining. Why give your energy to it? Rather it's politics, rather it's the hype of what's happening in the world, rather it's family drama. You know better by now. So take your own advice and move forward. Saturn, Venus is first, and it wants me to say. So Saturn goes directly into Venus. The first card that comes out into Venus is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles comes out telling you, okay, spend some time maybe educating yourself a little bit more on finances, because the world economy is changing. So definitely, I mean, if you haven't been watching the news about it, if you haven't gotten into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I mean, the boat kind of sailed already. You can still get into it, but it might be a little bit harder for you. Not saying that you won't be successful, but it's going to take a little bit of dedication. So right now is the time to definitely start studying a little bit more about that new world economy that's stepping into play, so you can benefit yourself and your family. There's a new shift in the cosmos that's going to be happening, and part of it's going to be done in the shadows. A lot of us have been seeing kind of like how the American politics are kind of in a weird place right now. A lot of different thoughts and ideas are coming around that. The rest of the world is trying to figure out how we're going to move through this labyrinth of travel and being able to let people go back to their normal lives. Do we force a vaccine? Do we not force a vaccine? You know, there's a lot of debate on things that are happening right now in the cosmos, and it's all being done, the great majority, in the shade or in the dark. So it's very important for you to kind of like start empowering yourself and understanding who you are, what you are, and start making plans. What if the worst ends up happening in terms of like a social construct? Are you going to cave to that? Are you going to stick to your guns? You know, you have to kind of start asking yourself what your ethics are, what your morals are. Where do you let go of your sovereignty and let someone else call the shots for you? That's one of the most important things at this time. Self-realization. We come back to being in harmony. Now, even if someone says, oh yeah, you know, I want to go for this, you know, I want to go for that, and I feel like that's the best course, you have no place to be like, no, that's going to close your third eye, or this and this and this. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff going around, and a lot of us have heard about it if you're in this. So, you know, respect everyone's wishes. Let people do what they need to do. Just focus on yourself, and don't let anyone kind of like throw you off, especially because right now, in the middle of all the confusion, not only is there like the confusion of what's going to happen in the world in terms of like the pandemic that's gone on, but also there's like this new, you know, this whole PC culture thing that's happening with a bunch of different topics, the cancel culture. You know, you have to kind of start paying attention to what's an illusion, what's not, and how do you feel about everything, so you can know what reality you actually live in. When we come into the final cards of Uranus, Uranus tells us with the Four of Wands that you are about to break through. I mean, the change right here is just the personal change that we all have to do when we're reshaping our reality. And then we have Shisheta, which is the healing vibration. Sometimes, you know, again, another 7 that comes up here with the final card that we have. Harmony is sometimes healing, but harmony is also sometimes a difficult and hard vibration to swallow at times, because our harmony doesn't necessarily mean universal harmony for everyone. And sometimes the idea of universal harmony is something you have to let go of so you can achieve personal harmony. So a lot of people are going to be stuck in the division of like, oh yeah, you know, we got to save the world, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do that. That's going to take away from your personal harmony. That's not what the cosmos is telling you. Right now, a lot of people are being forced to learn how to do the form of alchemy of service to the self versus service to others. And some people are learning how to master and blend the two so that they don't get pulled over in any direction. If you notice someone is just specifically working in service to self or specifically only working in service to others, they are still polarized. And again, you have no place to judge them. You have no place to kind of like step on their toes. You just have to recognize that's where that person is and let them go through their own journey. If they need your help, they'll ask you. And if they don't, then that's okay, you know, like, but this is all about a huge empowerment cycle that's happening for each and every one of us at a different level, depending on where you are in the stages of your life. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions about the reading, you can always just post a comment below, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, join us on Patreon. If you want to learn more of all of this, join our Quantum Tarot class so you can become a boss. And I'm super excited to say that in just a couple months, we are going to be launching our Antojai Quantum Tarot starter deck. So the Major Arcana, it's a Tarot Oracle hybrid, and we're also going to have a custom cloth to help you discover your soul purpose as we work with these specific cards. So I'm really excited for that, and thank you for everyone on Patreon that's been supporting this project, giving me your ideas, and just kind of like just being there. Sending you all the love.